There's something that barely anyone talks about in Half-Life 2, and it's one of my favorite things about the game. The gravity gun. No, not the version you get before Ravenholm, but the supercharged version. It is hands down the most powerful weapon in the game. And today, we're gonna look into what happens if you start off Half-Life 2 with the supercharged gravity gun. Now, before I start, there are a few ground rules that I need to put in place, seeing as this is the most OP weapon in the game. 1. I must use the gravity gun wherever possible. Later in the video, you'll see why this was such an important rule. And 2, I have to follow the path that the story takes me on. I know that there are a ton of skips, glitches, and tricks that you can use to get ahead in the story, but the whole point of this run is to see what quirks the game has when you're this overpowered. Now that we have some checks and balances in play, let's get to it. Starting off, I wasn't entirely sure what to expect, but I quickly realized Half-Life 2 is not exactly built to handle a supercharged gravity gun this early on. Let's just say the results were unforeseen. So first things first, I wanted to make sure that I had the developer console enabled. If you want to do this challenge for yourself, make sure to input these commands into the console.
And blah blah blah, Mr. Freeman.
The game starts off like normal. The gravity gun does look invisible for a few seconds, but I think that's just a visual bug. I can't seem to grab any ally NPCs, but I can grab the Combine, and that was satisfying. First impressions? It doesn't seem like the gravity gun is that overpowered. I can't even seem to prop jump properly. Sorry. One cool thing that I found out is if you kill an NPC that was necessary to close a door, that door will never close. There's still a barrier blocking my exit though.
Oh man, that's what I was afraid of. Get in here, Gordon, before you blow my cover.
You know, I'd be afraid too if I heard knocking and the door was wide open. No. Whee! You can grab birds. Total sidetrack, but a long time ago, I discovered that this Metro Cop had insane strength. If you angle yourself right on this trash can, he can actually fling you into space. The physics on this merry-go-round don't work. Whee! Even if you punt these Metro Cops, you still have to go around inside the room. You can actually save these civilians, but there is a cost. Yep, the most OP weapon in the game got me soft-locked. I really did try not to cheat here, but nothing worked. I had to no-clip through. The physics on this door are actually really funny. When I give it a punt, it opens.
Hey, it's Freeman. You're not leaving without me.
Was that one of the dialogue lines from later in the game? I even saw him walk a little bit. I tried to get him to follow me up the stairs, but it wasn't working. Sorry, guy. The rooftops were about the same, but I found out that you can do this with the APCs. If you didn't know, you can actually use this window to get outside onto the road. You don't even need to use a big box like this. You can use one of the little props in the room before this, although it is a little bit harder.
Helicopter, helicopter.
You can actually pick Lamar up.
Oh, damn it, get it off me!
And that cancels out the animations for the rest of the scene. Another side note, I'm actually making this suit charger in real life. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see that video. And while you're at it, leave a like if you're enjoying the video so far. The rest of this part plays out about the same. There's another Lamar that spawns and you can pick him up too. And another one. Every time you hit this Vortigaunt, it makes copies. For some reason, when Gordon gets teleported to the water, his gun gets removed. I really wanted to see if you could kill the Ichthyosaur. Now here's where I hit my first major roadblock. If this video was about whether I could beat the game using only the supercharged gravity gun, it would be a total flop. No matter what I tried to do here, these wooden planks would not break at all. I even tried stacking all of these boxes. I thought if I could make a ramp, I could climb over the fence. But nope, there's an invisible barrier there. I honestly don't know why I didn't pick the crowbar up here, but for some reason I decided to no clip through. Luckily, these wooden planks can be broken with a prop. You can't save this guy. These damn planks. Luckily, I could crouch through this one. Okay, I get it. I meant to use the crowbar. I know. Even though you can shoot through fences, you can't grab anything through them. This isn't really a roadblock, but it did cause me a lot of trouble later on. Vents are basically wooden planks to me at this point. I couldn't break this one, so I had to wait for the Metro Cop to shoot it. You can't interact with this Vortigaunt like you can with the other one. This is my worst nightmare. This really shows that you're not meant to have the gravity gun this early on. Well.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
Here's the next major roadblock that I ran into. You can't kill barnacles. Since I made it a rule that I have to use the gravity gun wherever possible, I'm really trying my best not to use any other weapons, which means I have to find a way to sneak around these things. This one in particular is really hard to avoid. So I brought him a little snack instead. Typically, you can whack these barrels with a crowbar and they'll set on fire, but it's kind of hard to do here. The puzzle in this room is so self-explanatory, I just decided to skip over it. I'm not going to count this one as a skip per se, because I'm still following the path of the story. And in real life, I could make that jump, probably. At this point, I did pick up a pistol, so I just decided to shoot the planks instead. Quick fun fact here. This pipe was actually supposed to be a weapon that you could pick up. If you've ever played Synergy, you can actually use it. At some points during this run, I got really careless. My health was nearing 0, and I couldn't fight the Metro Cops through the fence. In areas like this, I just decided to press on and avoid fighting wherever possible. There are planks down in the water, but I don't want to deal with that. One professional jump and I'm home free. What if they somehow blocked your specific Oh, wait, wrong video.
Ready to go.
I'm actually not a huge fan of the airboat segments, especially when it comes to the gravity gun. You'll see why. Another cool tip, this guy won't shoot you if he can't see you. After I cleared out this room and opened the door, I realized that there was a fence blocking me from using my gravity gun. If I had an explosive barrel on my side, I might have been able to do something. I did go back and look. I even tried reloading an old save to see if there might have been some barrel somewhere. I gave it my best shot. I ended up just having to shoot it. This lock is a plank in disguise. This is probably one of my least favorite sections of the whole game. And after this brief encounter with the helicopter, I realized it was just foreshadowing what issues I would be dealing with later on. Even though we got a sick new gun on the airboat, I wasn't gonna use it. This might have been one of the most difficult things I did this entire run. When you get to this area, you're actually meant to shoot the inside of the crate. Even with the supercharged gravity gun, you are unable to pick up the airboat. It's just too heavy. Since I wasn't trying to use any guns, I waited for one of the APC rockets to hit the inside. I placed the airboat on top, and that actually worked. Here came the hard part, the helicopter boss fight. Honestly, I was dreading this moment from the very beginning. Knowing that there's no props or anything that I can use to throw directly at the helicopter, I wondered how I would complete this section. I kept getting hit by these bombs, and at a certain point, I decided to finish this section without destroying the helicopter. And I died. Again and again. Eventually, I was able to open the gate, and I decided to ditch the airboat entirely. Here's the same Vortigaunt we saw from earlier.
Gordon Freeman. Let me get.
I was really interested to see whether getting the gravity gun later in the game would softlock me somehow. But surprisingly, you're able to pick it up like normal. Now at this point, you might be thinking, so you got the gravity gun, the rest of the game must be the same, right? Well, that's what I thought, and boy was I wrong. You can't play normal fetch with dog. Whatever I do to hit the crates back, they always break, and dog doesn't catch them. You're also unable to pick up the ball, you can only punt it.
Nice catch.
It does leave a pretty cool trail though.
Gordon, you need to get out of.
Oh, now you break, huh? Very cliche, but this is my favorite part of the game. Whee! You can pick up and make copies of Father Grigori.
Come closer. You stir.
Usually this part is really hectic, but with the supercharged gravity gun, it's a piece of cake. Now, in this next section, the combine snipers are super annoying. The best way that I found is just to avoid them. I like the car section a lot more than the airboat. Even though it is still a linear path, it feels way more open. Flipping the car uses more power, but it still works. Here, I ran into a similar situation to the airboat. Since I have to fight flying enemies, I decided to just ditch the car. I still needed to lower this bridge to get across. I totally forgot that you need the car for this jump, but there's nothing a little accelerated backhopping can't fix. I didn't need to do this, but it was fun. Can someone explain? Why is there a barrel down there? At this point, I was kind of screwed. Not only was I supposed to fight off hordes of enemies, but at the end, I was supposed to fight a gunship. You used to be able to skip this whole section by jumping down the side here. But they patched it, so I had to find another way. I realized that there was a slight angle here. Over the years, I learned that in the source games, you're actually able to slide up slopes. Now this is a little bit tedious, but it does work. And I know that this is breaking the rules that I set for myself. But I've been stuck in this area for at least an hour. This section of sand traps was very easy. With the supercharged gravity gun, I was able to walk directly on the sand. The only thing I had to worry about was knocking away the antlions that kept spawning. The boss fight was also pretty easy, but somehow I ended up softlocking myself. I don't know what it was, but every time I killed it, the Vortigaunt would just stop in its tracks. Even if I reloaded and didn't touch the antlion guard after I killed it, the same thing would happen. I even made a little ramp and tried to get through as the Vortigaunt opened the door. But I ended up having to no-clip through anyway. After this next gunship battle area, I realized that there was an issue. I had to kill it in order to progress. Gunships are the bane of the super gravity gun, so I just decided to no-clip through. If I'm tripping and there was a way to kill these gunships and helicopters with the supercharged gravity gun this whole time, please let me know, because I pulled out a lot of hairs trying to figure out how to deal with them. The second antlion guard battle went swimmingly. You can't pick up turrets, you can only punt them. Oh look, now I can break the planks.
We'll find you another pet head crab.
There's only one hitty.
No, not up there. No.
My arch nemesis, a fence, and a plank in disguise. I was able to climb over this truck and get over the fence that way.
It's me, Mario!
I won't lie to you, this challenge did get a little bit boring for the entirety of Follow Freeman, until I got to this part. This whole platform counts as an object, so when I tried to pick it up, it flipped upside down. Still works though. At this point, when you meet up with Barney, there's no other way to kill the snipers, so I had to chuck grenades through the windows. After fighting through a whole building of enemies, and then coming up onto the roof just to fight a gunship, I realized that I'm also going to have to fight Striders later on. These are all things that I can't fight with just the gravity gun, so I just decided to use the rocket launcher, like I'm supposed to. This is where I realized that now that I'm entering the Citadel, the game's almost over. I've always felt like Follow Freeman was an underwhelming chapter, although it definitely is necessary to continue the plot. The rest of the game plays out pretty much how you would expect. We enter the pod and take a tour of the entire Citadel. I was curious if anything would happen to the gravity gun through the dark matter field. It honestly looks the same. Thank you so much if you made it this far. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, please let me know down below. My name is Shiv, and I'll see you in the next one.